What a headshot! What a head!
How's it guys, this is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. And in this video, I'll be taking you through my transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 6. So this week, we got a lot to talk about. Are we on the wild card? Are we not? If we don't activate the chip, what transfers will we be making? And could there be a hit on the horizon? So we will be going over all those talking points in this specific video, as well as videos coming up this week, so make sure that you guys have those notification bells on. Now, quick review as always of Game Week 5 is going to kick off the video before we discuss Game Week 6 and the chip strategy. So that's what you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So going over the Game Week 5 team review, as you guys can see, 75 points scored total, but I did take a -4 hit. So that takes us to a total of 71 points, which was above the average, so a pretty decent week finally. Now, as we've done throughout the opening couple game weeks, no rank on screen at the moment. I will be discussing the rank around Game Week 10, as it's just so volatile at the moment. Saying that though, you guys in the comments down below can post how your current rank is looking. More importantly though, tell me how many points you scored in Game Week 5. Hopefully it was a great week for you guys as well. Now, I mentioned those two transfers from -4 hit. I'll discuss those as they're both forward departments. But let's start off with the bench. Now this week we actually required the bench. The first option, Winks, came off for his 2-point appearance. Wish he scored more than that, as there was a few jammy bench points this week. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case for my team. Harwood Bellis and Ben Johnson will remain on the bench, but they didn't do too much with 2 and 1 points respectively. Now if I have to choose one word to summarize Game Week 5, it's going to be patience, as all my options that I was patient on ended up returning. For example, the first option, Henderson for Crystal Palace, a massive 9-pointer, just seems like he can't do it against the easy teams. So against United he racked up save points as well as bonus points, taking him to a massive 9-pointer. So I'll definitely take that at the end of the day, especially with someone like a Bruno blanking that has some ownership behind him. Just wish Henderson could do it over a couple of the earlier games. Now in terms of our back three, same could be said about Trent. Finally the combo wombo, an attacking and a defensive return, take him to 11 points. So it just seems like this week was one of those weeks where the players we were kind of patient on ended up returning, and Trent maximized those points against Bournemouth. Now I was probably a little bit lucky to actually secure the clean sheet. This could have been an own goal, except for a massive save from Kelleher. So the difference between an 11-pointer and maybe a 3-pointer was very close, so I'll count myself lucky on this one. Then the next option, Konza, the player we brought in for Gabriel. Just ignore the fact that Gabriel scored yet again. At least Konza outperformed Lewis Dunk. So if you guys don't know, Konza ended up scoring a goal and got some bonus points, taking him to a lovely 9-pointer. So the reason I'm saying kind of outperformed Lewis Dunk was kind of 2 weeks ago I was deciding between him and the Brighton option, and I opted for Konza with the better fixtures over the next 2. So we'll definitely be taking these 9 points straight to the bank, and has a pretty good Game Week 6 fixture as well. Now it wasn't a full house without defense. Unfortunately, Pedro Porro blanked with only a 2-point appearance. Would have loved if he matched kind of my other defenders. Nothing much needs to be said about Spurs. They're not really keeping clean sheets at the moment, but hope for some more attacking threat from Pedro Porro. Kind of the only one in our defense that didn't live up to expectations. Let's see what he does against United next week. Now midfield department, our captain, the newly transferred in about 2 weeks ago, Mo Salah, overall quite disappointing with only 1 assist. Now to make matters worse, was outperformed by someone like an Erling Haaland with a tougher fixture. That Bournemouth at home game for me was the banker though. Now Liverpool did score 3 goals, but Mo Salah only got 1 assist. Hoped he would be more of a talisman. But still kind of no regrets, even though Saka did match him kind of with 1 assist. He was subbed at half time against City though. Now even though a lot of these kind of patient options ended up returning, there was one option that was quite disappointing, and that's Eze. He missed a few chances against United. There was especially one chance that I thought, how could he actually miss? It was a pretty easy one. I would have expected a player of his quality to finish it. So we'll be taking his 3 points, the extra clean sheet point, but this could have been a massive haul on his day. Don't really know what to do with him at the moment. Just seems like the form has dipped off this Premier League season, but might hold on to him for Game Week 6. But switching over to the kind of patient thread, Rodgers ended up with 10 points, got an extra bonus point last night to take him to the double-digit return. Now if you guys watched the game, got 2 assists but also a yellow card, but 10 points from him is absolutely massive. I've mentioned this over the previous game weeks, but at his price point, his stats were looking super strong, and finally he's backed it up with some FPL returns. Just seems like Emery absolutely loves him in that Aston Villa team, and I think his expected minutes will continue to be strong. The last midfielder though was pretty disappointing. Diogo Jota for Liverpool didn't even come off the bench. That's how Winks comes on for his 2-pointer. Now Jota's replacement Darwin Núñez ended up scoring a great goal, and this actually leads to some question marks about his playing time. Even when he was kind of starting, was getting about 60 minutes, which you never kind of want. You want your attackers to play the maximum amount of minutes. So definitely a kind of weak point in our team at the moment, probably the biggest one. So Jota could be on the way out. Now front line, at least we had some goal scoring threat. Erling Haaland continues to have his consistent form with a lovely taken goal against Arsenal. Now added to this, he had 3 bonus points which took him to 9 points, outperforming the popular captain Mo Salah. His effective ownership was actually pretty high amongst the ranks, with some people captaining him, so if you didn't captain him you wanted him to blank. At least I do own him compared to some other FPL managers though, and looking forward to captaining him once again in Game Week 6. Now the last 2 players were part of that -4 with those 2 transfers, and that was to bring Ollie Watkins in. Now at least he scored a goal, but would have loved a little bit more, only the 6-pointer from in Game Week 5. Now added to this, Aston Villa did score 3 goals, and he was only involved in 1 of them. His replacement Duran just kind of continues his great form coming off the bench and scoring, but I still believe Ollie Watkins will continue to play up front. Now in order to go for Ollie Watkins, I had to go for Jamie Vardy compared to DCL, just because Vardy was affordable at his price point. As you guys can see, 0.0 in the bank after these 2 moves, and therefore I went for Vardy for the cheaper price tag. Now unfortunately against Everton he couldn't do too much, an overall quiet game, only the 2-point appearance. At least DCL kind of matched him but has a better Game Week 6 fixture, which I really would have loved to have in my team. So Vardy kind of wraps up the 75 total points with the -4 to 71. Let me know how your game week went and if it was a good or bad one. Now before we go over the transfer plan and if I'm choosing to wildcard or not, I want to give you guys the context of my current team selection. So let's go over the team for Game Week 6. Now I do have 1 free transfer but 0.0 in the bank, so a sideways move or downgrade is on the cards. Now the bench this week has Winks against Arsenal, so if he doesn't have to come off the bench as it's a pretty bad game. Then we have Harwood, Bellis and Johnson, who wouldn't really trust. Between the sticks we got Henderson against Everton away, which is a pretty strong game. Everton overall aren't the best attacking side. But like what we've seen in the previous game weeks, Henderson can do it against the better teams but not the easier ones. Let's see if that changes for Game Week 6. Now back 3 has all away games. It's Trent against Wolves away. That's an okay game. Then Cons against Ipswich and Porro against United. So let's see if Porro and Spurs can finally keep a clean sheet, but probably not. And the attacking threat has kind of dried up a bit. Konza, can he replicate the theatrics like Game Week 5? This is a pretty good game on paper. Then on midfield department, the double up of Jota and Salah, Jota against his former club, but will he even feature or will he be benched? Eze though with a great game against Everton as well as Rodgers against Ipswich. Let's see if these 2 players can perform away from home. Now up front we've got the captaincy on Erling Haaland at the moment against Newcastle away. They're not great at the moment defensively and Erling Haaland's so consistent. There might be a slight debate to go for between Salah and Haaland for Game Week 6, but I'm going to trust the Norwegian for now. Then Watkins against Ipswich and Vardy against Arsenal. Watkins definitely with the better fixture. I do have some slight concerns about Vardy. I mean Arsenal are such a great defensive side, but we might be having a Vardy party if he does score against Arsenal, with all the wildcarders doubling up on that Arsenal defense. That's definitely a dream though. I do expect Vardy to probably blank, but could we take him out for a -4 or a free transfer? So this team on paper in my opinion does not require a wildcard. I think these fixtures are pretty strong, and therefore I'm going to use free transfers unless something big changes. I don't know if you guys agree with me. Drop in the comments down below. Do you think I should wildcard or not? I do have no Arsenal coverage, which could be a massive risk, but the players I have in my team besides Vardy have a chance for points. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, or if you guys are on the wildcard, what's your latest draft looking like? Maybe I'll join you in a few days time. Now going on to the transfer plan, I want to firstly remind you guys there is a lot of midweek football. The Champions League, I think the other European competitions also kick off. And then you have the EFL Cup coming up on Wednesday and Thursday. So if you guys want to hold your transfers, that's probably a good decision. Lots of injuries could happen, plenty of football still to feature, and that might change your transfer plans completely. Now as mentioned, I won't be wildcarding as of yet in Game Week 6. Game Week 7 might be more probable. Therefore, with my free transfer and 0.0 in the bank, I have to make a downgrade or a sideways move, so let's discuss my options. So in terms of my team, I do believe there's one kind of major concern, and that's Diogo Jota, as he might have lost his place in that starting 11. Now Liverpool do play against West Ham coming up I think on Wednesday, where he could feature, and that might give us more insight into the starting 11 for the weekend. I do think, however, though, he is a major concern. Even if he plays on Wednesday and does well, he could always be rotated, and therefore I've actually already transferred him out. So yes, I've just kind of given you a whole debate about kind of keeping your transfers with all the football to happen, and I think I made this move on Saturday. So the move I did was to bring in Bumo in for Jota, as he was rising in price, and as mentioned, that has been confirmed. So with one free transfer, I've brought in a Brentford attacker instead of an Arsenal attacker, but I just think Mbumo's great value against West Ham in Game Week 6. Not only are their stats looking great, Mbumo's looking pretty strong, and he had a great goal if you guys want to watch it in Game Week 5. So what this transfer has allowed me to do is deal with the biggest concern in my starting 11, take out Jota, and bring in a great kind of talisman in Mbumo. For me, this transfer made the most sense. I could have taken Salah to Saka, for example, but why take out a great option when Salah could outperform Saka, whereas Jota has concerns about him. Now we could actually do a -4 for Saka and for Salah if I was to captain him, but because I'm captaining only Haaland at the moment, I went for this move rather. Could have also gone for a defender and someone like a Gabriel, but would rather prioritize a more attacking move, as the ceiling might be higher in those departments. Saying that though, there's another attacking move that I'm considering from -4, and that's Jamie Vardy out. Now just a reminder, I might wildcard in Game Week 7 if I don't in Game Week 6, so even though Vardy has great games from Game Week 7 onwards, I might take a 1 week punt. Now for a -4, this is not very conservative, this is very out there, but I believe there might be a punt that's worth it. So at the moment I'm considering a Bournemouth forward in Evan Nilsson. I just like the look of Bournemouth against Liverpool this weekend. And even though they didn't score, they were putting up a ton of chances, and I think the 5.9 striker could come in clutch against a poor Southampton defense. So for a -4, is this worth it? Don't exactly know. That's a striker goal between them for the 4-point hit. But the potential could be there for the gains. I believe this is a great game, and as mentioned, Bournemouth are looking strong going forward. So let me know what you guys think about this move, as well as the kind of Mbumo in for Jota move, and are any of you guys doing the Saka in for Salah move and captaining him? I'm captaining Haaland, I'm pretty kind of secure on that fact. That's why I'll probably just keep Salah. He still has a great game against Wolves. Tons of decisions though still to be made, tons of football to happen. Who knows, maybe that wild card is activated come Game Week 6. Let me know your transfer plans in the comments down below. Are you guys wildcarding, are you not? What's happening? And let me know how Game Week 5 went. But this is basically going to wrap up the video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like if you didn't subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. As mentioned, tons of content coming, so make sure those notifications are turned on. And you guys are following me over on Twitter, and the Discord server is in the description. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.